Hello there, Thracia gamers, and welcome to America. Ironically, doing this at 9:30 at night on the east coast of America, not very American time available. Not the most American time available. But this is the iconic Olwen thumbnail instant click. Hey, if you want Olwen, you know, if you want Olwen to survive, we do currently have a poll running about A route versus B route, and if we go A route, I'm fucking killing Olwen. I'm saying it right now. So this is my begging for money moment. But please only donate if you can afford to do so. But Olwen will die if you don't. $2 to the route with less money.
$2 to the route split with less money.
That's the Olwen dies route. That's the Olwen dies route. Thank you for $2 to Dryas route. I believe... Does the description say... Yeah, okay, so... Bidding war for route split. Thank you, Thomas Kwok. Determines Olwen live or die. And I'm gonna pin that. That's my donation bait for the stream. Oh look, it's Olwen! Look, she's there! She's in the fucking... I genuinely wonder why Karen recruits Illios. Yeah, so Illios, like, you know, I'm less interested in the Olwen versus Illios debate, because I think it's pretty straightforward. Like, you use Olwen early on, and then you kill her off and you use Illios. Huh, is my... Input customization... I'm less interested in that. Also, my controller's not working. Hold on. I might have to restart this entire thing. That I am, like... Illios' recruitment and how fucking weird it is, right? Like... Karen recruits him for no reason, and then he's exclusive to Olwen also for no reason. Like, what's up with that? Anyway, breaking through the enemy lines, the Liberation Army finally set foot on Imperial soil. Their invasion could now begin in full. However, there was no time to celebrate. Fort Dundrum, widely regarded as an impregnable defense against Thracian incursions, now stood before them. If they could not capture Fort Dundrum, the army would never reach Tara in time. I have been summoned. Why is there an annoying EXP number that goes up whenever... I hate that shit so much. It's like, oh, rank who sends the most messages or whatever. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. So, I'm finally gonna get to do that Karen strategy that someone recommended. The person with the Avel PFP. Oh, shit. I'm forgetting her name right now. If you're in chat, speak up. I'll give you credit. But I tested it off stream. Don't fall for his trap in America. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. His trap in America is gonna happen. I tested it off stream and she perfectly one-rounds the ballista. But Thracia has such random enemy stats that that's probably not gonna be the case on stream now. Oh, also, I gotta heart your donation because that's the thing I can do now. I heard it and I liked it. I beat FE6 again the other day. I forgot the Smash Melee team is in the credits. Are they really? That's so fucking funny. I already told you, the enemy appeared out of nowhere to attack Fort Knoll. If you don't send reinforcements, General Largo is as good as dead. Just say the word and I'll lead our troops to stop the invaders. Please, General Kempf. You claim this enemy appeared out of nowhere to besiege Fort Knoll? But who exactly were they? Remind me, what was your assignment again? I'm just a lowly general of House Frege, and these little details escape me all the time. Ah, wait, it's coming back to me. Reconnaissance, wasn't it? But if your duty was reconnaissance, surely you'd come to me with more than they just appeared? Or are you such an incompetent soldier that you failed to gather even the slightest bit of information? I came here to warn you precisely because there was no time to do anything else. Listen to yourself. You're badgering me for needless details while borders are under siege? Doesn't matter who our attackers are? And what if this attack is merely a ploy to lure us away from the fort? Did you consider that, girlie? Fort Dundrum earned its reputation of being impregnable only because of House Frege's 12th Division here to guard it.
Olwen, funeral donation.
Olwen funeral donation. Thomas Clock, thank you for the $5 bounty. We are at 24 on Olwen dies. 18 Olwen lives. Olwen fans better show up in force soon. Thank you, Thomas Clock, for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. Fort Dundrum earned its reputation of being impregnable only because of House Frege's 12th Division here, so I got it. Without them, the fort is merely stone and slate. If I don't have complete information on our enemy, I can't chance deploying the 12th Division. It would weaken opposition. And what of General Largo? Perhaps sending our troops out is risk, but he faces certain danger at this very moment. Pah! What's 1 or 2 old men in the grand scheme of things? Besides, how much time could he really have left anyway? What? General Kempf, even now you... The glare you're shooting me is almost treasonous on its own. I've had men executed for much less brazen displays of disrespect. So before you back up that glare with equally traitorous words, let me warn you. You're very close to insulting the chain of command. It's amusing, watching you squirm, I'll admit. But are you really willing to defy your superior officer, knowing what the Empire does to traitors? Is that it? You've got quite the mouth on you, but no spine to back up your words. You're a simple girl who got into Valhalla's military academy on the prestige of her blood, not the skill of her sword arm. So naive, so oblivious to the way of the world. You're lucky to have a commanding officer as understanding as I. Don't worry, I never expected much of you. I know that your only real weapon is to go begging to your brother for help. What did you just say to me? Are you hard of hearing? I said all you're good for is to go crying to Reinhardt. You. Oh, how he must dote on you. Then again, Reinhardt's greatest skill is knowing how to lead women on. Hold your tongue! I'll not stand there and let you dishonor my brother. Ha! You dare to draw your sword on me, you feeble-minded wench. Men, seize Olwen and throw him in the dungeon for the act of rebellion. Yes, General. Lady Olwen, in the name of the Empire, you're under arrest. Drop your weapon. General Kempf, how contemptible. And they capture her! Although he's not slowed down because she has like 6 con. That should put the impertinent little girl in her place. And if his own sister is executed for mutiny, Reinhardt will not be stripped of his rank as well. Oh, the look on his face when he hears this would be quite the spectacle. I like how Alfred dismounts to head on in. The cutscene is so cute, I like it. General Kempf, explain yourself. Fred, my dear boy, you look different from your usual self. Is something amiss? Don't play dumb. What have you done to this Lady Olwen? It's a violation of our military code to punish a subordinate over a personal grudge like this. You have a responsibility to overturn this. Please, sir, release her at once. Otherwise, I have no choice but to report the matter to Princess Ishtar. Personal grudge? Nonsense. Right where you're standing, Lady Olwen drew the sword against me, her superior officer. She meant to kill me. What? That's not possible. She would never. Fred, since you're so well acquainted with our military code, what's the punishment for turning a sword against a superior officer? Because I seem to recall that it's a crime punishable by execution. So that's your goal, is it? Your cowardice knows no bounds. Be that as it may, as Lady Olwen's adjutant, her duties now fall to you. I command you to ride forth and engage the invaders in her place. But be warned, this isn't merely an order, it's a punishment. You are not permitted to retreat for any reason. See the battle through regardless of the outcome, or I'll have Olwen executed. Kempf, you're shameless. Did you say something? Must have been my imagination. I forgot Kempf is in Heroes. I've never seen anyone build him. It's Bandit Kempf. Yo, Bandit Kempf, Bandit Keith archetype. So this is the famous America map. Once we enter this courtyard, a bunch of doors are gonna close and 2 ballistas spawn. So, there's also some good capturables here. These guys have killer bows, and then I think these are just all long and short lances, right? There's nothing good here. But if I can capture the archers, I want to try to capture these archers. So let's send Ocean up here. Oh my god, right. This is a thicket, so we can't actually go through this. This whole first couple of turns is just like actually kind of torturous, just going through the same fucking woodses, and I hate it. The first turns of this map are actually pretty awful. Machua's back though. Say hi to Machua gamers. Marty is here. Marty is here specifically for take drops. Fred is nice enough to dismount indoors. Yeah, it's very kind of him. What's this? The enemy flies the banner of House Leonster. Are they being led by a boy? Why, he can't be more than 14 or 15. I've got swords that are older than him. I see. That must be the wayward Prince Leaf. First Olwen and now Prince Leaf marches right to my doorstep. Oh, the gods are the most generous today. This is my chance. All hands hear me. I have a plan for an occasion just as this. But for it to work, you must lure the enemy inside. Don't be too obvious about it. Prepare to launch Operation Portcullis. This tree is slightly different colors, so you're not allowed to walk through it. Kempf feels like an early Narshian. Yeah, very similar to Narshian. Oh, did I just get Lithis killed? I might have just gotten Lithis killed. Because I think the other soldier can reach him. You just have to dodge tank. Just dodge tank, bro. Just dodge tank, bro. He did not just dodge tank, bro. Safi, I need a Narshiana archetype. F tier unit. Rep in pepperonis. Make sure I gave people door keys. Did I give people door keys? You as a door key, you have some door keys, you as a door key. Okay, I did give door keys. Okay. Here, we'll try this instead. What if Lithis goes here? Yeah, so Lithis goes here, but then Karen can protect him. Like that. And everyone else just sort of does the We're in the Forest shuffle. God, I hate the first, like, 2 turns of this map. They're, like, actually so awful. I mean, it's not like the rest of the map is particularly good, but it's just, it's very egregious, the first couple of turns. Where you're just, like, walking through the trees. Now they shuffling. Good job, Ocean. Wrathplit plus PC Secret equals Ponage Incarnate. What chapter are we on? This is chapter 11. Although, it's not like the most accurate, just because there have been a bunch of Gaiden maps as well. Wait, who has the Brave Axe? Who did I give the Brave Axe to? Is it on... Shit, where did I put the Brave Axe? Oh, did I forget? Did I forget to give someone the Brave Axe? I guess we're capturing the old-fashioned way. Yo, Marty hit! You have a lower hit rate than Marty, Mr. Archer. Does that embarrass you? Will we be making use of Fred? Almost certainly. Fred's a very good unit. I mean, I'd say very good. He's a pretty good unit, I think would be a better way of describing it. He's, pretty good. Yo, Flamesword Machua moment. Jesus Christ, she's ridiculous. And we stole a second one, too, so she's gonna keep being ridiculous. Redonkulous, in fact. Oh, I think the Brave Axe is on Brighton. The spirit of Avel has overtaken her, y'all. I am the spirit of Avel. Will you use Olwen if B route wins? I make no promises, because I think Olwen does not scale particularly well, but at least she'll be alive, and, like, maybe I'll deploy her on some maps. I don't think she scales super well. I'll tell you one thing that I am not doing, by any stretch of the imagination, that I will never do. Vantage Olwen. Vantage Olwen is, like, the worst build ever. Don't worry, we'll talk about it during the, unit review. And why it sucks so much, but, Vantage Olwen is, like, the ultimate Olwen cope, and it is certainly something. Miranda is a funnier Mage Knight. I would have to be bribed pretty badly to... I would have to be bribed pretty badly to use Miranda. I'll say that much. Vantage Asbel is better? Or Vantage Nana, although we did Wrath Nana, so, you know, we won't be doing that. Vantage Illios, maybe? Vantage is just not a particularly good skill, if I'm being for real, for real. Well, he's boxed himself in. So we can just, like, wait, I guess, until we successfully capture him. Vantage said. I mean, I think the real answer is just don't bother stealing the Vantage manual. It's an annoying side objective, and it's not a very good skill. No, my physic uses! There we go. In other games, Vantage can be good, but I find that hit rates in Thracia are not reliable enough for, like, the Vantage sweepers. And damage output tends not to be high enough as well. And usually you can solve one of those problems, but not the other. Which is like where the problem comes in, right? .776 is how many attacks it takes to take down an enemy. Can you sell the Vantage Scroll? I think you can, but it's really not worth the trouble. Wait, can Marty not use the hammer at base? What's Marty doing here? He has high con. Oh my god. The hammer's C rank, isn't it? I fucking forgot. Yo, that's so fucking funny. That's so fucking funny. I forgot the hammer was fucking C rank. Marty is the ultimate capture bot. He's a take drop bot. His accuracy is just not there for captures. I forgot he can't fucking use the hammer at base, y'all. Y'all, he can't use the fucking hammer at base. What the hell? What the hell is wrong with our boy? This is what Marty's here for, by the way. That's why Marty's here. And now we move all y'all forward. It's rough, buddy. I like how you said what's Marty doing here and not what's Callian doing here. Because, like, Callian and Hicks are here, too. What the fuck are they doing here, right? Like, this is an indoor map. But they're just here for, like, dropping armor knights. FE4 attacks animation music is better than FE5's. I solved the judge rule debate. No need to thank me. I'm still going to thank you, though. Callion's the best combat unit. Life's been rough lately. I'm sorry. I hope things turn around for you. Alright, let's get you over here. Iron Axe Gaming. I'm slowly luring them. I should also have Dawson give his key to someone. Marty, do you have a key? Marty, are you smart enough to know how to use a door key, or are you just gonna eat it? I like the idea of a Fire Emblem character, like, just not being allowed to use keys, because they're too stupid. Like, you know, thieves know how to use the lockpick because they're a specialist. But what if you get, like, a brigand, like Gonzalez or whatever, and it's like Gonzalez can't use keys, he just eats them. Is Carrion better than Connomor? I mean, I guess it comes down to, like, if you train him up, right? Yes. Connomor's such a fucking nothing unit. I forget, does Connomor have a leadership star, or is, like, even that denied to him? Connomor is so sad, y'all. I know you said player first.
I know you've said player phase versus enemy phase isn't a helpful description for categorizing Fey games, but I haven't heard your rationale.
Jake, thank you for the $5 donation. Do you want that to go towards some of the route split? We've got Olwen live versus Olwen dead, if you want. As for my rationale as to why I don't think player phase game, enemy phase game is super useful, I've got no dog in the fight. In that case, do you mind if I put your money up for democracy? I let people vote on which those $5 go to. I can be like, next 2 minutes, everyone votes, and whatever it votes, that's where the money goes. I think that would be very funny. As for my reason, though, the main thing is, I think, most Fire Emblem games revolve a combination of doing stuff on both player and enemy phase. I think player phase, enemy phase unit is a much more helpful description. Because usually when people say enemy phase game, they just mean easy game. Jake's money. Kill Olwen. Oh, nice ass bell. Spare Olwen. So usually when people say enemy phase game, they mean hard, or they mean easy game, and when they say player phase game, they mean hard game. And I think one of the biggest, like, demonstrations of this is people will say Conquest is a player phase game, because Conquest is one of the harder games in Fire Emblem, right? But some of the most powerful things you can do in Conquest are set up an enemy phase build. Soul Ninja, Nosferatu Odin, Soul Mage, Xander. Like, not only some of the most powerful, but some of the more straightforward ways to clear challenges come from that as well. And so when you get down to it, and the same is true for, you know, a game on an easier end of the spectrum, like Sacred Stones, right? Would often be described as an enemy phase game, because you have Seth, and Seth, like, just does stuff on enemy phase, right? But if you look at the end game of Sacred Stones, most of the strategies for Sacred Stones' end game, what they often come down to is warp skipping. You one turn, you one turn, here, I'll trade this stuff, because we're just doing capture things. You one turn, like, unless you want to do 200 fucking reinforcements on the Forest of Doom or whatever, right? You one turn that map, or even if you don't one turn it, you warp skip that map. You do that stuff on player phase. And so I think rather than looking at games as a whole, as player phase, enemy phase, and sort of reducing it down to, like, this is a player phase game, this is an enemy phase game, looking at units and looking at chapters, I think is if you want to use that term. Now, I think it's better to just say, like, because what most people mean is easy or hard. I think it's better just to say easy or hard. But if you want to describe why a game is easy, you know, the reason why Sacred Stones is easy is for a large portion of the game, you can just have Seth beat stuff up, and all you really have to think about is positioning. Whereas in Conquest, the reason the game is hard is enemy skill combinations create tricky formations that you have to find creative ways to solve. And sometimes you solve those on player phase by having, like, you know, archers deal with people without being countered, or kill the wary fighter guys with attack stance stuff or whatnot. But oftentimes you solve those on player phase things too. Look at some of the harder maps in Conquest, like the Ryoma map. If you want to play it, like, if you don't want to do the Korinchis, right? If you don't want to win the duel, you need to find enemy phase units to beat your way through those hallways. Conquest Chapter 10 gets a lot easier when you start looking at it as a route map and you push aggressively with units who can fight like 3 or 4 foes on enemy phase. And you do still, but even then, it's not just an enemy phase map, because you want to kill the bosses on player phase. Like, Obero has so many seal skills, you want to kill her on player phase so that she doesn't seal you. Because if you kill her in 1 round of combat, then you don't get sealed. And that's something that is much harder to do on enemy phase than player phase, right? This is Fire Emblem 5. This is Fire Emblem 5, yes. I was just answering a question about player phase game versus enemy phase game. Dawson, do you have room for one thing? Okay. We're, cause this map is pretty chill. We're doing like, I mean, this portion of the map is pretty chill. We're doing like random ass, just captures. I'm just refilling my lances, basically. and getting some door keys. Does that make sense? You know, obviously you don't have to agree. I'm just, I mean, that's my logic. I think that, it feels like a very, like, I understand calling a game easy, sometimes feels a little reductive, especially because, like, you know, I find Sacred Stones easy, but maybe someone who's never played Fire Emblem before would find it hard. Or maybe someone who has just, like, ends up finding it hard because they do. Because, you know, different things are difficult to different people. But I think it's easier just to say that. There's two genders in Fire Emblem, Birthright and Conquest. Rev is non-binary. The majority of the community doesn't acknowledge it. Rev is non-binary, meaning it's the best one. I choose to accept that. Rev is non-binary, therefore best. Okay, do we have people in position to open doors? You have a door key. Y'all are gonna start getting pushed around. I think we want to... I'm gonna use my 1 per map save state here. And I think what we want to do is trigger the trap now. Actually, let's have Dagdar kill one of these guys, just... Alright, well he didn't. Alright, let's trigger the trap now. Yo, movement star! Yo, we triggered the trap with a movement star! Those dullards actually fell for it. Alright, men, fire at will. Do the holy-blooded knights of House Friege fight using such underhanded tactics? When our forces met in Noah Valley, I respected the honor with which your army conducted itself. It seems I was mistaken. On behalf of my home, my honor compels me to agree with you. The Crusader threat would not have fought using such treachery. This is all because of what that fool of a man, General Kempf. This is a disgrace is his doing. As a knight, I am loath to give my life in service of such a foul plan. You seem to be an honorable lad. I have self-control enough not to turn my sword against you, if you can promise the same. If you've no mind to fight, sir, then we have no reason to meddle with you. In fact, we may even be able to help each other, I'd wager. Both of us have little energy to spare now. I can agree to those terms. I've left many things undone. It is settled, then. We can both agree that our time is better spent devising an escape. Very well. My forces will storm the castle's interior in short order. When that happens, you should take your escape to the south. We can take care of the gate ourselves. Are we in agreement? We are. It appears I owe you quite the debt. I am Fred, proud knight of House Stade. I would know your name as well, friend. It's Leaf of House Leonster. House Leonster? I see. Well, Lord Leaf, I believe we'll meet again one of these days. Alright, and I think also this is where we will call the poll. And it looks like it's Spare Olwen. So that's $5 to the Spare Olwen Fund, aka Warp Forest. We're at 23 to 24. Thank you again, Jake, for your donation and for letting me democratize it out. Because I think that's very fucking funny. And hey, look! Karen's just one-routing this ballista, which makes America so much easier. I hope Fred doesn't instantly die to the ballista. Well, that's what Karen's here for. Like, now he can't. Because he's only gonna get shot by one. Which is pretty awesome. What's your attack, by the way? 25. Oh, does Tanya just fucking die? Tanya just fucking dies to the ballista. Hold on, we gotta get her out of there. Take drop. Take drop. I wonder what Uchibara is up to. When you think about it, Kempf chose Illios over Olwen. So real, though. Morty party! I've been playing FE4 in Japanese on NSO. I can't read anything, but I'm happy. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm not as high on FE4, to be honest. I had fun replaying it. You turn your blade on me in this situation? What idiocy. Oh, by the way, shoutouts to the fact that Thracia doesn't let you heal green units. So we can't staff Alfred. He just has to, like, he's on his own, right? He just has to escape. What's this about constructive criticism? Just in time for my TS disappointment slander quota. Like Triangle Strategy? Wait, Triangle Strategy had a planned sequel that they canceled? That's actually makes me pretty sad. I like Triangle Strategy. Sad if true. FE4 is an amazing story if you've never read a book. However, its ambition for a game file that was made for the Super Famicom cannot be denied. Playing the best Fire Emblem, praised for its story, when you can't read any of the story is a little bit silly. Is Fire Emblem 4 the best Fire Emblem story? Probably not a controversial opinion. I think 4 and 5 are probably the best ones, yeah, for story purposes. I think that's probably true. I think I probably agree with that. I want to try Alec Latches'. It's very basic, but I've never seen it talked about. What does that offer? It's just nullify, right? He get his pursuit and nihil, or awareness, however you want to, say it. I guess we can go hide in the doorway now. It just feels like worse than Beowulf, which, like, I know that's every Latchis' pairing, but, like... Can't pass A swords, to Dermot. And... overall worse stats, right? Like, I don't think Beowulf is, like, anything special as, like, a unit. He just happens to be perfectly positioned for Latchis. Alec passes down swords. He does, but it's only B rank. Paladins never get A rank swords in FE4. And I think that's a meaningful distinction. Like, obviously the best swords are B rank, like Brave Sword and stuff, but you have one Brave Sword, right? Being able to pass, like, a Silver or a Blade, not that they're necessarily good money, or not that they're necessarily good weapons, but they're money, right? Obviously, magicals and braves are, like, more important. Marty party! This is what Marty was here for. His job done. Are you gonna die? If I have you open that door, I think you're gonna die. I'm more on the slightly dislike/disappointed side. It sucks due to the potential it has, especially with the seemingly cut content in the game. What game? Recruit Beowulf with Latchis, have them marry so that Beowulf can give money back to Latchis. That feels like a waste. I think Beowulf's recruitment should be looked at as a resource. It lets you give... Beowulf's recruitment situation allows you to give money from him, or from someone who's not married to him, to him. And what that means is that you can have, like, Noish or Alec or another low-value unit recruit Beowulf, give Beowulf all their money, or even someone like Lex, who's good, just isn't money hungry, right? Give Beowulf the money, and then when Beowulf marries Latchis, Beowulf gives that money to Latchis. It lets you do a money transfer, which is a very rare trait. It's a trait normally locked to thieves. I think just having Beowulf marry whoever recruits him is a waste of Beowulf's recruitment. I don't think of it as a cost. I don't think of paying him as a cost. I think of it as a benefit. Honestly, more than anything. I mean, you can do it if you want. I just, strategically, I think it is... There's a lot of units who just don't care about, There's a lot of units who just don't care about, how much money they have, right? Well, rip my physics staff. I wanted to capture that guy. It's fine. I like putting Battlemong on one of the twins. I've never taken advantage of that glitch. I'll be honest, I don't find the sword twins particularly, like, I mean, I don't care for them that much as characters and as units. They're like, yada blah 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 blah, you know? So, I don't really care about the glitch, but like, for Larce and Ulster fans, it's cool, you know? I'm glad that people can get joy from it, you know? Is Rotobon the replacement unit? Yes, Rotobon / Dalvan is Ulster's replacement. Goodbye, Fred. Shoutouts to Alec Ira for literally giving you Ira but twice. Yeah, no extra benefits. Gotta be the most sauceless potential pairing. Because it's like, what is the point of this, right? Just kind of funny. Matcha Gotcha walked so that Alir could run. Dodge tank with a sword. I wouldn't exactly call really any unit in Thracia dodge tank, just because the limits to, you know, you got limits to, limits to what you can do in that regard. But, Cutie Patootie, I will give you that one. That one is 100,000,000% accurate. I'll say that much for sure. Shoutouts to Heroes for making Machua look way more impressive than she actually is. I usually do Arden Ira, because I like Arden, and that way Ulster can get swords. You also get Vantage, so you could do, like, funny Vantage Astra moments, I guess. Yo, he's shooting at Matcha Gotcha! That's not fair. Yo, she's level 7 already? I forgot. Y'all, I forgot she was fucking level 7 already. Ridiculousness. Absolute absurdity. Matcha and Heroes equals Matcha Gotcha! Y'all. The Matcha Gotcha is real. The Matcha Gotcha is real. So much for the impregnable Fort Dundrum. Kane is the most popular scrub, so he might be on the next Thracia banner. Are you resetting on unit death? Depends, but usually. But, like, not for every unit. There's certainly some where they don't earn it. Ugh, what a joke. I must flee this place, at least for the time being. You gotta earn being reset for on death. Kempf looks like a Final Fantasy red mage. Wait, does she have? She takes 0 damage from the Thunder Mage. That's our matcha gacha. Simply superb work, my prince. With Fort Dundrum's gates captured this quickly, it'll be all but impossible for the enemy to escape. We cannot afford to rest on our laurels, however. This being an imperial fort, I expect there are children in prison here as well. Let's make the most of our swift victory and conduct a sweep of the interior. If indeed there are children locked up here, we must help them at once. Desperate ground. Alright, so we only get 8 slots. You. I'm just trying to figure out who else we're bringing. Oh, not Karen, Lithis. Probably Dagdar. Probably... what rank is in Sorcel Staff? Does anyone remember? We're just shy on Nana. Lithis, give, boop boop, Safi. We're using warp in this chapter, our first warp. I need to pick 2 more units. Is this where the Ronin enjoyers tell me that the 2 defense 20 HP guy is really good on this map because he can enemy phase and then die? Is this where that happens? Robert Gaming time! I think honestly we go with Halvan. Actually, it might... I think actually... Instead of Dawson, we go Tanya as a support bot. I guess Selfina might actually be a good pick here. 6 defense. And we can mount her at the start of next map. Maybe Selfina instead of, Lithis? Yeah, this seems good. We have a hand axe for you. Roberta Asavar Emunda, I don't know what that means, I'm sorry. It's been too long since I took Spanish class. Nana's portrait is traced over FE4 art. Unlike Robert, Selfina actually has bow rank. Yeah, I mean, we stole those killer bows, right? We might as well fucking use them. Does Brighton have the Brave Axe? Yeah, okay, so Brighton, give the Brave Axe to Ocean. Alright, let's test this. Because I want to warp skip this map. Or not warp skip it entirely, but the boss has bolting, and I want to warp to, like, kill him turn 1. Because otherwise he can just fucking kill Olwen and the kids. Are you bringing door keys? Oh shit, do I have door keys? I have to check. I might have forgotten. Bishop Boltoff, listen closely. His attackers are none other than the motley survivors of House Leonster. They seem to be led by Kempf, the rebel prince who caused such a stir when he escaped from the dungeons of Castle Munster. This has escalated beyond a mere border skirmish. I must ride out at once and alert the Imperial Army's high command. Not to imply this relieves you of your duties, of course. I still have orders for you and your men. Your platoon is to barricade itself inside this wing of the fortress and stall the rebels for as long as possible. Buy me time. But General, the enemy's already breached the fort's interior. My men and I cannot possibly stand with prolonged siege. Nonsense. You still have one final means of defense against the southern corridor. Are you implying me to huddle behind the gaps in the corridor's walls and take pot shots at the invaders? You're asking us to die. We'd be sitting ducks. No, I'm ordering you to kill the invaders before they kill you all. It's a tremendous difference. Mind you, no part of my orders require you to die. In fact, if you die, you only have yourselves to blame. Oh, and I'm not asking anything. You use that word, not I. These are orders. I understand. If this is an order, I have no choice in the matter. Not that that's the first smart thing you said, Bishop. Take your own advice and follow my orders. Otherwise, you'll be keeping Olwen company in the dungeon. Speaking of which, You mustn't forget to dispose of the prisoners. They'll only cause you trouble if they manage to survive all this. As you wish, General. Don't look so glum, Bishop. If you should happen to die here, you can rest knowing your death served a purpose. You're an Imperial soldier! You witch! All you do is go around spreading misery to other folk! And now you're to kill us, ain't you? No, that's not why I'm here. I was arrested. What are you kids doing here? Soldiers were raiding our village. They took me and brought me here, even when I kicked and screamed. What's gonna happen to us? You're talking like they ain't already decided what to do with us. They're gonna sacrifice us to Loftus. They're gonna send us to Valhalla and kill every last one of us. I know, cause my sister got taken and she never came back. No, please don't take us away. I just want to go home. I just want to see Mama and Papa again. It can't be. Has the Empire really been conducting child hunts? I heard rumors, but I was sure it was just rebel propaganda. I never even considered that it could be true. For the Empire to be doing something so heinous, this is inexcusable. I believed in the Empire. I trusted House Frege. And this is what they've been doing all along? Please, ma'am, help us. Take us back home. Everything's gonna be alright. You don't have to worry anymore, little one. They won't lay a finger on you ever again. On my honor, I'll protect each and every one of you, even if it costs me my life. Did I remember a door key? Nope! Well, reset! With those stats, you ain't defending anybody. No, just don't worry. Don't worry. The vantage build. Don't worry. Smiley face. Alright, get a door key for you, because we got plenty last map. And Dagdar can grab the longbow. In the last run, she got magic screws and she got strength instead. Absurdity. Absurdity. Alright, let's see. So the throne room, FE5, chapter 11X. Okay, so we've got Olwen here. Door 1, 2, wall, 1, wall, 1, wall, 1, wall. So I want to capture this guy on turn 2. Oh, you know what, actually? We're gonna give him pure water. Shard Iron Tome. Oh, whoops, I screwed up the volume. If you use speed up on the SNES emulator, it screws up your volume. Okay, Ocean. And we'll give the Brave Axe back where it belongs. Right here in Halvan, baby! There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there are no Earthquake Tomes. Alright, so Olwen. Down, down, wall, one, wall. Unit. Free space.
Here we go.
Olwen is S tier.
Olwen is S tier. Thank you, Neon, for the $2 donation. I'm assuming that goes towards the Save Olwen's Life Fund. So that brings us up to $25 for Warp Forest. And that means Olwen currently gets to live. Selfina cannot reach on this turn. So I guess we can have Tanya. Oh, it's a javelin. Lol. Alright, Tanya, fucking go for it, girly pop. I want Olwen to live. Yeah, so it's the overall A route versus B route, but if we go A route, I am killing Olwen. So that's the, that's the incentivization here. This game hates archers. It truly do. This is like probably, aside from Fire Emblem 7 and 8, this is probably the worst Fire Emblem to be an archer in. Cause like bows, I've highlighted it before, but bows are so bad. Not just because, they can't capture and they can't enemy phase, but like, look at their stats! 65 hit! 7 might! What are you doing? Meanwhile, Matcha Gacha over here. What are you doing, Matcha Gacha? What are you doing? / pause. Bow units would be better if they weren't garbage. I disagree. Like, obviously, I mean, they would be better if they weren't garbage, but them having bad stats is not the problem. It's bows themselves just being so bad. Cause like, there's almost no flying enemies in this game is the other thing. So effectiveness against flyers means nothing. Bows have the lowest accuracy and lowest might, tied with axes and swords respectively. Being able to capture from 2 range would help. I mean, there's a lot of things that would help, but what I'm trying to get at is that this wouldn't solve bow problems. Also, speaking of problems, I put Ocean in a bad spot because he can't see the fog. He can't see through the fog, so he can't capture next turn. So that was my bad. Also, they're being good bows. Like, the thing is that none of these solutions, you can make bow units slightly better than they are, but it doesn't solve the fundamental problems we've got. Oh, that's too high. I think that's the wrong room, isn't it? That's not the throne room. That's the 1 tile, isn't it? Yeah. Warping Blind is hard. What bows need is a niche. The thing is, like, this map right here positions itself as this theoretically should be a map that's good for bow users. Because you do so much 2-range combat. And hand axes and javelins suck. Like, hand axes and javelins are very bad in this game. So, you know, in theory, if you are in a position where you want to do 2-range combat, that would be the niche, right? That would be the bow user niche. But in practice, what ends up happening is, like, even though hand axes and javelins suck, the hand axe and javelin units can. I mean, that's also pretending like Asbel doesn't exist, right? Because, like, Asbel is the 2-range combat god. But if we, like, you know, suspension of disbelief. Reverse recruitment lets Selfina and her gang be good, except for Kane, who is actually Marina! Oh no! The Quiet Revolutionary! How could they do this to you? Kane gets Astra, though. Does he get a Marita's Lance? Or I guess a Kane's Lance?
FE9 trivializes bows. I'm making Astrid solo, and with her and Kieran, it's just like okay, this is fun and all, but what is the point of any of this?
FE9 trivializes bows. That's, so I forgot FE9 when I was listing the games where bows are worse than Thracia, but I agree with you. I think in FE9 bows are, like you say, what's the point of it? Because you're 2-range locked. That's a game where very frequently, not always, but very frequently, the solution to a problem is just stick a paladin out there, right? Forged hand axes and forged javelins mean that your 2-range options that are not bows are good. And 2x effectiveness in a game where flyers are relatively rare too. Like, there's a few maps with big flyers, like the Crow map. The Crow map's one of them. Actually, flyers aren't all that rare in the late game. There's a lot of wyverns later on, but early on there aren't. And I tend to think that, like, your 2 bow units also are fucking Rolf and Shannon. Because, like, Astrid is a bow unit, but she's kind of not, because, like, as soon as you promote her, she just gets a better weapon type. Also, Jake, thank you for the $5 donation. In the interest of balance, because your previous $5 donation went towards sparing Olwen, We're gonna send this one towards killing her. Thanos speech bubble, perfectly balanced, just as all things should be. And we are now on the kill Olwen train. I love determining the value of human life through money. Meanwhile, Self-Unit just dodge tanking. Why does this map have any explanation? Why does this map have an actual explanation for why you can just shoot through walls? Yeah, it's so interesting thing about that. In Path of not Path of Radiance, in Radiant Dawn, one of the coolest things that Radiant Dawn does in regards to like shooting through walls, because the map are 3D modeled, certain walls are like columns. They have windows and stuff, where you can shoot your arrows through, and you can shoot your wind through, and you can throw your hand axe through. And those walls you can do combat through, but other walls that don't have columns, don't have holes, don't have anything, you can't. And I think that's so cool. Radiant Dawn has so many cool, like, tiny features. I love it. Lady Olwen, are you down here? Please say something. Fred? You came back for me. I'm over here, and the children have been locked up with me too. But Kempf still has his men's station here, so don't get careless. All right, Fred unit review. So, Fred is a paladin. These are not his actual stats, these are his dismounted stats. Although his actual stats are pretty close because paladin penalties are, very, very minimal. I think it's, aside from Sword Cav, the second lowest penalty? FE5 Fred. Let me pull up his actual stats. Yeah, so dismounting, oh no, paladin stats are harsh, I was misremembering. He loses 1 strength, 1 skill, 2 speed, 1 defense, and obviously the 3 move. So he should have 33 HP, 10 strength, 4 magic, 11 skill, 10 speed, 4 luck, 9 defense, and 11 con. Not the worst dismounting penalties, but definitely, like, impactful and more impactful than other units. The -2 speed in particular is a pretty big deal, because getting knocked from 10 to 8 can take away a lot of doubling thresholds. Thankfully, he has 11 con, so he's never gonna get weighed down, because while dismounted, he's, you know, using swords. He's never gonna get weighed down, so that's pretty cool. His growths are also kind of, I mean, his strength growth is the really good one at 60%. But the rest of his growths are, like, kind of decent. 15% magic on a non-magical unit is legit decent. And that's all he has going for him. He is just a paladin with good stats, and decent growths. And oftentimes that's enough. In outdoor maps, obviously, he has movement, he has sword and lance access, which is rare. I think it's just him, Callion. Are those the only two? I think it's just Fred and Callion are the only 2 regular paladins. Everyone else is like a lance or a sword pal. But it means that he can use the best weapon type, swords, but he can also use lances while mounted. So he can use javelins, get 1-2 range. Although if you really want 1-2 range, his magic stat is pretty decent. A lot of people look at the Thunder Sword as like his PRF sword because it's slightly worse than the Flame Sword in not boosting your magic, but like 9 might off of a lead and magic, that's 13 might hitting on res. That could be pretty cool. No skills whatsoever. He is a completely skillless, skill issue guy. Just a dude, but like he's a filler paladin. Connomor! I always forget about fucking Connomor. I mean, Fred is better than Connomor because he is around for longer. And he's around on maps where you want a filler unit. Yeah, just good stats, good weapon type. a mount during a stretch of the game where having a mount is actually pretty good. Like Chapter 13, Chapter 14, Chapter 14X, Chapter 15, and the Route Split are all very good mount maps, and 19. 19's a good mount map as well. So like having a mount during that stretch is pretty good, and he just shows up with ready-to-go stats so you don't have to train the scrubs. It's very funny that he has like only 4 chapters less availability than Callion, because Callion's like 9... No, Callion's 8, 8X, 9, 10, 11. I guess Callion does have a longer stretch. So never mind, I'm fucking lying. I'm fucking hacking a fraud. Cancel me. Luna could be a good skill on him because of that skill stat. I guess. I don't really see the point in spending manuals on him because I don't think Fred is ever going to be like a carry in your army. Although, if you do want to invest in Fred, I would recommend Paragon sorting him just to take advantage of 60% strength growth because that's impressive. That's like one of the more impressive attributes of him. But yeah, he's just like, you know, filler paladin out of 10. He is sort of the definition of peak filler. Is that a mounted unit with an actual sword rank? He can use swords mounted. Like, it's better than that. He can use swords while he's mounted, too, which is pretty cool. He also supports Olwen. So if you're a big fan of Olwen, that can kind of be the decision maker, because I think it's a 10% support. FE5 supports. The 20 is very rare. I know Glade supports Selfina for 20, because that's like what the Glade cope is. Yeah, he supports Olwen for 10%. No, Olwen supports him for 10%. What the hell? Okay, for some reason I assumed that the Retainer would support the Lord, but I guess Kaga sexism strikes again. Yeah, Olwen gives him the 10% support, which he doesn't even need. He's already super accurate. But I guess it makes him even more accurate. Again, just a filler unit, like the definition of peak filler. Nothing really special, but I find myself deploying him a lot. Him, Connomor, and Xavier had the same strength growth. I mean, yeah, but he's the only one who's, like, around enough to take advantage of it. Alright, we'll Slim Sword you. Yo, the Machua Gaming. The Machua Gaming continues. New Olwen Cope. She supports Fred, y'all. What? You telling me you don't make Fred like a key part of your strategy? If you're hyper investing in Fred, Olwen can be a support bot for him. Child Alm has better bases than Leaf. Is that true? Huge if true. Hilarious if true, in fact. Which old man conversation makes the game funny? Do you mean the route split? So the $29 one is A route, which is where you do the Revenge of America and the annoying Pegasus recruitment. And the $25 one is B route, which is Warp Tile Forest and the chapter where you can recruit unarmed villagers to send them to their death. So I would say both of them are pretty funny. If nothing else, Modern Fire Emblem games make the units look distinct. Browsing through a bunch of identical blue units is a chore that today's players don't have to deal with. Unless you play ROM hacks, in which case, like, you do still run into that problem. But, it's just the limitation of the consoles they're on, right? I don't think it's reasonable to expect, like, a 2D sprite to be, especially on the fucking Game Boy or the SNES, to be, like, distinct for every unit, right? B-Route has Shannam, so it's 1,000,000,000% funnier. I think they're both funny. I do think B-Route is, like, more traditionally the funny route, because you get, like, funny Warp Forests.
Clay has just tipped $10.
Warp Tiles and
Peasant
Sacrifice. Clay, thank you for the $10 donation. We're listening to August now, baby. We're listening to August now, baby. Olwen lives. Boop, 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 boop. This is House Leonsta's idea of waging war. I may have been mistaken about you. Iron Bow, you. Are the cats the ones donating? So I have a bunch of random donation noises. I can actually pull up Streamlabs to show you them. I'll do it during enemy phase. But I have a bunch of random donation noises that it'll roll between and, like, choose. The cat, if you use the link in the description, which I get a better percentage of, the reward is you are more likely to get the cat by using the link in the description. But if you super chat, the cat is less likely. But, like, for example, let me see if I can launch this test. So, like, we have Garfield.
Here we go.
This is a test super chat message.
I'll do it during enemy phase. I'll show you them during enemy phase. It'll be fine. We have Crackers.
Here we go.
This is a test super chat message.
We have Shaken Norn.
Here we go.
This is a test super chat message.
Here we go.
We have Boars.
This is a test super chat message.
And we have Nick's Cage.
Here we go.
This is a test super chat message.
So these are my and obviously we also have the cat. Which the cat, again, it's more likely if you, the cat is more likely to happen if you donate using the link below, just because Streamlabs takes a lower percentage than Super Chats do. I hope Olwen doesn't, like, cause like Olwen can just die before you have any chance to get him. Or get her. If we have lesbian boars, why can't we have asexual boars? Picture this, a Pokemon fan introduced to the series via Scarlet and Violet, playing an Emerald ROM hack, going, this is weird and confusing, by... I don't understand what would be weird and confusing. The fact that it runs at a stable frame rate? Oh, crackers. These are such good stream noises. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Okay, Olwen dodged. Olwen dodged. Baller. Pokemon hasn't ever improved or changed since Red and Green. I think some of the, like, minor... I think that it has made some changes that I would consider improvements, like adding abilities for more complexity, increasing the type chart, adding Dark and Steel and Fairy, all of which feel like meaningful additions in a way that, like, is cool and deepens the game. Held items, you know, like, I think that the idea that Pokemon has never changed is dismissive of some of the older games. Building off of the success of Red and Green. It reminds me of the idea that, like, Pokemon was never good. That's just your nostalgia, and, like, I get where the instinct comes from. But, like, yeah, I go back and replay the old Pokemon games. Like, Pokemon was good. It just hasn't kept up with the times. She keeps getting magic. What the fuck is her magic growth? It's 10%! 20 with the scroll. Wowie zowie. Pokemon is a fun game for children. How many of us are actual children? That's the other thing, too, is, like, it's, you know, it's clearly, well, is it even a fun game for children anymore, you know? It was. But it's one of those things where, like, you know, children's movies and children's games and children's whatchamacallits, I think the children of today deserve better than what modern Pokemon is offering. Something being made for children doesn't necessarily mean it has to be low quality. You know, children of all ages is a phrase for a reason. Won't improve until people stop buying it. Yeah, but let's be honest, that's never gonna happen. Ocean is the boss now. We have to defeat him in order to beat the level. I'm the world's only physical special split hater. I wouldn't say I'm a hater of the physical special split, but I think it being regarded as just an improvement as opposed to, like, it's a difference, right? I think that there is value in, like... I think that there's some amount of value in, like... the cool metas where physical special doesn't exist. There's a lot of fellas named Frege on the enemy team. That must be like their equivalent of like Adam. Just a super common name. Punching Alakazam. Punching Alakazam is hilarious. Nobody can convince me otherwise. Pokemon peaked at the generation I grew up with, seems to be most people's opinion. Well, because I'm different and special, and my super special different opinion is better than yours, I think the peak of Pokemon was Gen 5, and I'm a filthy Gen 1er. I grew up with Gen 1. Like, Pokemon was the first video game I played. Lady Olwen. Fred, thank you. You saved me from a most terrible fate. Think nothing of it, milady. I'm just glad you're safe. Now we must move quickly if we're to escape. Let's come over you. You're as white as a sheet. Fred, what have you been really fighting for? What do you mean, milady? What exactly have I accomplished? How many children have been stolen from their families under my watch? How many caravans of children have I helped send to Valhalla? How many sacrifices to Loptis have I made possible? Lady Olwen. Never before have I had such doubts about what I've done. I believed that as long as I followed my brother, there could be no questioning the righteousness of my path. But now, I'm as blind as a newborn. Can't be certain of anything. I have nothing to believe in. I don't know what to do. Lady Olwen, I can tell you one thing for certain. Your place isn't with the Empire and its army, not anymore. But perhaps there could be a place for us in Leaf's army. Join Prince Leaf? He's the enemy! He always has been. I met Prince Leaf, albeit briefly. Just from what little I saw, his values are far more in line with ours than the Empire's are. Whatever it is you've lost sight of, Lady Olwen, you can find it again in his army. If you're convinced Prince Leaf's on our Fred, then that's where we'll go. Olwen Unit Review! So Olwen is also a promoted unit, much like Fred. And she has like, okay bases. Her bases are actually pretty similar to his, with the exception of the fact that her bulk is kind of abysmal. 24 HP and 3 defense. She will frequently get 1 or 2 shot. And with 9 speed, you would think that, much like Fred, she's not getting doubled. But she only has 5 constitution, so some swords will just weigh her down in the way that they don't for Fred. But more importantly, tomes pierce constitution. So tomes will always weigh her down, you know? We saw this with Asbel and his speed not being great until he got a few levels. Just because he get weighed down by fire, he get weighed down by thunder, all that fun stuff. You can give her wind, that'd be pretty cool. And she does have D rank wind, but the main appeal of Olwen is you can give her thunder. Specifically, thunder of the dire variety. This is a 15 might brave tome. It also has 10 crit. But 15 might brave tome. This is a nuke. This will delete anything that it hits twice. It does have to hit it twice though. 70 hit. Olwen's base skill is 7. Let's just go ahead and get this handed over, so we can take a good hard look. Her base hit right now before enemy avoid is 95. That's before factoring in enemy avoid. That's not great. That's not great. Now, the cope that people always bring up, oh, if you give her Vantage, she can become like a Vantage Sweeper. Because you get the Vantage manual next map, and Vantage lets you always attack first, right? The problem is, if you're trying to set Olwen up to do enemy phase stuff, she has to hit 2 roughly 80% hits in order to kill stuff with Vantage, and if she doesn't, she's gonna get doubled, because she's right now has an AS of 0, because Dire Thunder gives her minus 12 speed. Remember, it pierces con, so until she has 13 speed, at which point she'll have 1 AS, she's gonna double by everything.
For peeps I rage, Pokemon peaked with Emerald if you just see Pokemon as a childhood interest. For those who stayed Pokemon fans, Gen 5 is their peak.
Maybe controversial. I'm not actually that high on Gen 3. I understand why people like it, but I'm not super high on it. Thank you for the $5 donation, Jake. I appreciate it. Wait, is everyone talking about Pokemon instead of Fire Emblem? And also Silk Song? Olwen though, so like, yeah, she's just kind of, she's a good glass cannon if she can hit stuff. But that's basically all she does. Now, I do want to point out, she's only 20 combats away from bolting. We captured a bolting earlier, we captured one in this map. Chapter 14 has a lot of very dangerous ballistas, and Olwen is really the only person who's reasonable to raise to get a Siege Tome that you have, because you don't have Blizzard right now. We have bolting, we have Meteor. You're not raising Asbel to Meteor rank. I don't care about the fucking memes. It's just not happening. But Olwen can actually bolting ballistas. I think that's very valuable, especially since she has Kanto, so she can sort of Kanto out of range. Dire Thunder also, she can Kanto out of range, like nuke something and then Kanto to safety. And so despite being very, very frail, she can kind of function as this 30-use glass cannon. More if you Hammer it as well. I think it's relevant that I think it's relevant because even if you don't want to use Olwen long term, if for example you want to use Illios, who's mutually exclusive with her, you can use Olwen in this stretch of chapters, have her be quite useful nuking things, bolting ballistas, and then you can kill her off in chapter 15 in order to recruit Illios, because Illios only gets recruited if Olwen is either not recruited or dead. You can't have both in your army. So even if you plan on using Illios, who I think is a better unit than Olwen, you should still make use of her in the mid-game, as long as you went to this chapter and recruited her. Because, like, hey, deleting 30 enemies and bolting a couple of people, that's more contributions than, like, fucking Callion has. That's a lot more, right? Like, I don't want to undersell the value of mounted glass cannon. But I also, like, feel the need to push back against the Olwen dominance. The Vantage build, you just die the first time you miss. And again, 95 hit before enemy avoid, right? It's just not working. It's weird that she's not supported by Fred, right? I would think it's the other way around. Like, she feels like she should be, but hey, Kaga sexism moment. But yeah. I see people in chat talking about her Holy Sword. I should talk about that. I don't think it's like a huge deal. She does have a functional strength growth, but like she's a promoted unit with 4 strength. You shouldn't be doing physical combat with her. But she gets the Blessed Sword. The Blessed Sword is a, what is it, 15 might? FE5 Blessed Sword. 17 might. So it's a 17 might brave anti-horse weapon that gives plus 10 magic, which functions as resistance in this game. So it basically cap her resistance, usually exceed the cap actually. And it of course has the same problem as Dire Thunder. It's even worse, it's 65 hit instead of 70, so like lol. And it's 11 weight, so she gets weighed down by 6. So like again, lol. You can't really do Vantage stuff with it. But even with low strength, 17 hit effective against cavalry, that one-shots all cavalry. So the problem with the Blessed Sword is not the fact that she's a physical unit and she only has like 4 strength with like decent-ish strength growth. The problem with the Blessed Sword is you get it at the fucking end of the game. You get the Blessed Sword on the Reinhardt map, which is an outdoor map. And there is, after the Reinhardt map, only one more map with cavalry. Only one more outdoor map. And that is the next map. So the Blessed Sword is effective against horses, and it shows up when there's no more horses. It's so worthless. Like, this weapon, it would be so much better if you got it any earlier. But the other thing is that I hardly count her being able to use it on the Reinhardt map, because she gets it by talking to Reinhardt. But Reinhardt's at the very end of the Reinhardt map. So, like, the map is over by the time you talk to him. Even if you're warp skipping, like, and you warp her there to talk to him, well, you're warping through the map. Like you're finishing the map. Just finish the map at that point. So functionally, she gets this weapon that would be really, really good against horses. But, like, you have one map to use it against horses, and then if you're using it indoors, not against horses, right? 17 might brave weapon is still good, but again, you're going off of 4 strength. Probably a little bit higher than that, because again, 40% growth. But you're going off of a low strength stat, and you have 65 hit. It's just not worth it. 20 crit is also, like, it's funny. She's an FCM of 4, so, like, you can probably guarantee a crit with it if you could double with it, but it's 11 weight, so, like, come on, you're not doubling with it. Yeah, she can use swords also. Mostly relevant for the fact that she can use the Paragon sword. Unfortunately, C-rank swords, so she can't use the magic swords, but, like, just use tomes, right? Like, the magic swords are good on actual sword units because they don't get magic. It's the one unit with the engaged bond ring I never use. Don't tell Olwen. Doesn't Olwen tell you to sacrifice her on the Illios map? Yeah, so, not to sacrifice her. She actually has a special event on the Illios map where if she gets in Kempf's range, she changes his AI and causes him to break formation. Unfortunately, to get her there, you've probably already killed Illios unless you warp her over there. But it's pretty cool, because Kempf is, like, disciplined until Olwen is like, hey, you're a little shithead. And he's like, oh, you bitch, I'll kill you. So she's not saying to sacrifice her. She says that she's gonna, like, bait him. Like, she knows how to get under his skin. And I think it's, like, a pretty cool resolution to both her character arc and his, in a way that's kind of satisfying. She has the exact same growths as Illios and Galzus. Chat, let's fact check this. Oifi, FE5, Olwen, Illios, Galzus. Growths. Holy shit, you're right. What? That's ridiculous! They have the exact same growths. Olwen, Illios, and Galzus all have the same growths. I just pulled that out of my ass. And Xavier? Yo, I can't believe she copied off of all the sexy old men's homework. That's very rude. Alright, release you. Do we just rapier you? We're Machua gaming? Always, baby. Always, baby. Always with them matcha gachas. Let's physic Fred. Actually, we have the Vulnerary. We can Vulnerary next turn. And if we need to take an action next turn, we can physic him. We do want to let these kids escape, because them escaping is tied to, some houses next map. And there are about to be some soldiers. Reverse recruitment leave, 20 promoted with 15 strength and speed. Thracia reverse recruitment sounds ridiculous. I might have to play it sometime. I did do the reverse boss recruitment patch, but I've never done regular reverse recruitment. Do you just get Forseti in Chapter 1? Because, like, Sed would replace, like, Avil? Well, because Galzus is the Lord, right? Because Galzus has to be Leaf. And then you have Leaf plus 5, right? Because Avel, Finn, Ozian, Halvin. Oh no, it's Leaf plus... Yeah, it would be Leaf plus 4. So, Sias said... Amalda Connomor? Do you like Connomor? Now you can use him even... Avel is Connomor! Y'all. I mean, of all the units to be, like, so boring that they go away, Connomor makes sense. Dermot takes Ocean's place. The Vogue is now the Bea sword. Oh, that makes sense. That's all the kids escaped? Unfortunately, this is not considered outside. I thought I could maybe mount up one of them. Oh well, let's seize. Yet more children caged. It's easy to see why the people of Tara rebelled. Indeed, but it makes the Empire all the more desperate to make an example out of Tara and stamp out their uprising. Supposing they allowed Tara to defy them, countless cities would follow suit. It's for this very reason that the Empire has summoned troops across Jadgrul, just to attack one city. They moved to crush both Tara and its hoops all at once. I've even heard tell that the Gleberetter have been recalled from Valhalla to join in the assault. The Glebenretter? That's House Frisia's elite battalion of knights, correct? Indeed. But they are no mere knights. They are mage knights. Each of them hand-picked for the job, and each of them a noble from the House Frisia's inner circle. They are one of the strongest, if not the strongest, battalions of knights in the continent. To make matters worse, they are led by none other than Princess Ishtar, a woman widely feared as the goddess of thunder. And her adjutant, Sir Reinhardt, is a damned fine warrior in his own right. Some even believe him to be the reincarnation of the Crusader Thrud. A man who readily lends his hand to child hunting is what you call a damn fine warrior? How typical. Knights are so hopeless. You've lost sight of reality. Augustus, you insult me, speaking so brashly. Just what is it that I'm unaware of? Please do tell. Need I spell it out? Reinhardt is Ishtar's adjutant and guardian. Ishtar is the betrothed to Crown Prince Julius. Julius, the very same man that people call the Scion of Darkness, need I remind you, is the vessel of the Dark God Loftus. Ultimately, anyone who serves Julius in any way is ushering in the world closer to destruction. It's not like that at all. My brother, my lord brother Reinhardt, is no servant of Loftus. And who might you be? Olwen, sister of Reinhardt. For her own reasons, she wishes to accompany her army, and I gave her leave to do so, unless you have objections. I see. If that's the case, Olwen, take a good hard look at what the Empire has done here. See them for what they truly are. Dryas is so cool, guys. We should follow him into battle and on the good path. I have no money, but I must scream. For some reason, I always have a soft spot for paladins that can keep a beating. Shannam is now Ronin, and his paces are identical. Does Shannam get depromoted, or do they leave him promoted as like a funny joke? We're not doing this one tonight, but I do want to do the preps. Who else should I be deploying right now? I guess Lithis. Where's Nana? Wait, where is Nana? Ah. I guess Dagdar? Probably Nana, Fergus, and Machgacha. Yo, she's just barely not fatigued. Actually, we want to keep Machgacha going on the magic train. I thought Nana got captured for a sec. Nah. Nah, she's fine. Halvan... give Dagdar Brave Axe. Oh, we didn't even need to send a Dorky on Leaf last time. Right, because Ocean captured one. I think instead of... Do we wanna... I guess we do want Lithis to steal the manual. Instead of Fred, I want to go with Ocean. Because I think I want to promote Ocean. Although I guess we can promote Ocean next map. The reward for capturing Salem is Salem. You don't need him for the Gaiden. That's not true, actually. You do need him for the Gaiden. And more specifically, he doesn't join you unless you go to the Gaiden. If you miss the Gaiden due to the turn limit, you don't get Salem. So that's misinformation. That's untrue. And I can tell you that because 6 months ago, a friend and I tested it. You do not get Salem if you miss the Gaiden due to the turn limit. So Salem and the Gaiden are inherently linked. You need him for the Gaiden, and you need the Gaiden for him, because the Gaiden is also locked up based on a turn limit. Fun fact, if you steal his weapon by rigging con levels. He'll retreat because the throne he's on is an escape point also, and he retreats, and then you just don't get the guidance. It's very funny. Anyway, I'm sleepy, as you can tell by kind of just like out of it. Kidnapping children is bad. How could you say something so controversial and yet so brave? Good night.